In this chapter you will learn how to create and test a user program with the TIA portal. Belt systems are activated by a switch. In the past, the on switch would be connected to a contactor and the motor was switched on directly. Nowadays, plants are automated using controllers, with the switch being connected to an input module of the controller. The relay is controlled by an output module. Signals are linked using programs. The TIA portal features high-performance program editors for programming the S7 controller. The graphical programming languages LAD and FBD offer an excellent overview and are perfect for digital signal processing. Graph is a graphical programming language for creating sequence controls. Sequences can be programmed clearly and quickly using sequencers. The programming language SEL, derived from a high-level language, is particularly suited to rapid programming of complex algorithms and mathematical functions, as well as data processing tasks. STL is a text-based programming language with which hardware-related user programs that are optimized in terms of runtime and memory can be created. The programming languages LAD, FBD, and SEL are supported by all SIMATIC S7 controllers. The programming languages STL and Graph are also available for controller families S7-300, S7-400, PC-based, and S7-1500. You can program complex automation processes in a structured manner using different types of block. The organization blocks, OBs, form the interface between the operating system and the user program. They are called up by the operating system and control cyclical program processing, for example. Function blocks, FBs, are logic blocks that permanently store their input, output, and in-out parameters in instance data blocks so that they are also available after block processing. Functions, FCs, contain program routines for recurring tasks. They have no memory. Global data blocks, DBs, are data storage areas that can be used by any blocks. How is that done in the TIA portal? Let's use the example of a motor that needs to be controlled. To do this, first create a new block in your project in the desired programming language. Add the program elements to the block by dragging and dropping them from the Favorites toolbar or from the Statements task card. Then assign variables to the program elements. You can do this using IntelliSense or by dragging and dropping from the detailed view of the variables table. In the program editor, you can also define new variables or simply assign them directly to the input-output modules by dragging and dropping them. Here the variables are mainly defined in variable tables. In this way, you can also generate large quantities of variables relatively quickly using mechanisms that are familiar from Microsoft Excel. Along with the contact diagram LAD, the function diagram FBD is also a frequently used programming language. You can switch between LAD and FBD at any time. To create any further blocks that you need for your project, add block calls for existing functions and function blocks from the project navigation by dragging and dropping. Then double-click on the relevant call to open the block. The block's interface contains the declaration of the variables that are used in the program code. As you can see, alongside the typical elements of a PLC, SEL also offers convenient commands for program control. With SEL, you can complete complex tasks quickly and easily. You can also use STL, another text-based programming language. And with Graph, you can program sequence controls that control the process under specific conditions and in a predefined order. You can then test your completed program directly on your PG or PC using the simulation function. The integrated S7 PLC Sim Controller simulation simulates the control system. With the TIA Portal, online access and test functions can be implemented for programming tools in exactly the same way as in a real control system. S7 PLC Sim helps you to identify and resolve logic errors in your programming at an early stage. The TIA Portal is a development environment. Its easy-to-use editor allows you to develop in different programming languages. As well as monitoring your programs online, you can also check the functionality of your code right at your desk.